Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Pavitram charitam yasyaha pavitram jivanam tatha pavitrata swarupinyai tasyai kurmo namo namaha. Om sarvamangala mangalye shive sarvartha sadhike शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणि नमोस्तुते. सृष्टिस्थितिविनाशानां शक्तिभूते सनातनी गुणाश्रये गुणमये नारायणि नमोस्तुते. शरणागतदीनार्तपरित्राणपरायणे सर्वस्यार्तिहरे देवी नारायणि नमोस्तुते. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Dear devotees, as our regular Swamijis have gone out for some program, today I have to fill in the gap to maintain the continuity. So I was thinking what topic would be the suitable for this occasion. Then I thought, very recently we observed Phalaharini Kali Puja at our ashram. That's on 5th June. A great incident attached on the same date, which happened in 1872. It happened between Sri Ramakrishna and Sarada Devi. As most of us are sadhakas, mumukshus, we want to progress in our spiritual life. I thought I should dwell upon the same subject, Shodashi Puja, which was performed by Sri Ramakrishna on Phalaharini Kali Puja. So today I have given the topic as Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi as Shodashi. Any incident in the life of great people becomes a great lesson for us. But here is an incident, apparently it looks very simple, but it has a very profound, in-depth meaning, and it has got a great significance in the Ramakrishna Vivekananda movement and in understanding the philosophy of Ramakrishna Vivekananda Vedanta philosophy. So with that keeping in mind, I thought the subject I selected was Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi as Shodashi. I'm sure many of you have read the incident, but listening to a great incident again and again, which gives clarification, clarity, and supports us in taking us forward. Sri Ramakrishna's the most beloved, or the deity which was very close to Sri Ramakrishna was Divine Mother Kali. He was the priest at Dakshineswar Kali Temple. So that was the very, very uh, a great starting point in the life of Sri Ramakrishna, we should say, because that's where he had the first vision of Divine Mother Kali. So today I'll pray to Divine Mother Kali to get us, or to have, all of us should have a better understanding of her, who was the chosen deity of Sri Ramakrishna, and who came in the form of Holy Mother Sarada Devi also. In the life of Sri Ramakrishna, one significant statement I would like to take that and go on. Holy Mother, at the age of 18, this is around this time only, she came to serve Sri Ramakrishna at Dakshineswar. One day, she was just massaging or pressing the legs of Sri Ramakrishna, and a question arose in her mind. She asked Sri Ramakrishna, "How do you look at me?" Dear friends, I have heard or read this many years before. But still, I am yet to understand the profoundness of the statement. That's why I thought, let me begin my sharing the thoughts on Shodashi from this statement of Sri Ramakrishna. The answer what Sri Ramakrishna gave was, the Phalaharini who is sitting in the temple, the mother who gave me birth to this body, referring to his own mother, biological mother, Shyamasundari Devi, and now the mother who is pressing my legs are no different. Means to say, Sri Ramakrishna saw that Divine Mother in every woman. He made no difference. He says the whom he was worshipping as Divine Kali, and the mother who gave birth to him, and Sarada Devi are no different. See how Sri Ramakrishna looked at every woman, how he looked at Sarada Devi, how he looked at his own mother, no doubt how he looked at Divine Mother Kali. There's a very, though it's a very light moment, but still it is a very important occasion. I feel that's why I feel like telling you in between. Once a devotee asked Swami Sharadananji Maharaj. Today the topic is quite serious. It may be a little heavy also, and I also may find it difficult to explain, but still we would like to know about our own mother, or our beloved mother, Kali or Sarada Devi. The incident is, that person asked Sharadananji, we see Holy Mother always covering her face. She never removed her sari. No, not many could see. Why it is so? Then the natural answer is, in those days women, they don't see the men folk directly. The customs of those days was like that, etc., etc. But after some time, I think Sharadananji Maharaj or some Swamiji who stays very close to mother and serving, he says, Sri Ramakrishna always used to keep his mind on Mother Kali. Sarada Devi never wanted Sri Ramakrishna to distract his mind. There are two aspects here. One is how can Sri Ramakrishna's own wife distract the mind of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was a great yogi, but still the understanding and observation was Holy Mother Sharda Devi never wanted to disturb the thoughts of Sri Ramakrishna, so she always used to cover her face. Only verbal conversation, verbal communication, finish the job and come back. It's a very interesting observation. Why this? Because Holy Mother always supported the cause, the sadhana of Sri Ramakrishna in such a subtle manner. Even she never removed her veil. This is the observation made and comment made by one of the Swamiji. Now today, I divide this topic into three parts. One is, the first part is Shodashi. The second part is Phalaharini Kali. And the third part would be, depending on the available time, the highlights or the important aspects of Holy Mother's life. I'll just take some few points and we shall try to contemplate on that. To begin with, Shodashi. According to the Tantra, the Divine Mother has 10 forms. Kali, Tara, Shodashi, Bhuvaneshwari, Bhairavi, Chinnamasta, Dhumavati, Bagala, Matangi and Kamala. Shodashi is also called as Rajarajeshwari, the other name for Shodashi. And also she is called as Tripura Sundari. These are all synonyms for the same Shodashi or Mother Kali. According to the Lalita Sahasranama, Shodashi is the most purest form of Divine Mother. One can worship this deity in a clay image or in a young girl about the age of 16. According to Narada Pancharatra, one day Kali became mad with Shiva and took the form of Shodashi, literally. A 16-year-old girl and paragon of beauty. The Divine Mother takes various forms according to time and situation. Creation, preservation and destruction are all her play. She takes a destructive form, but she assumes a benign form for her devotees. This is a brief detail about Shodashi. On 5th June 1872, it so happened, other day, Phalaharini Kali Puja happened on 5th June of this year, 2024. The Phalaharini Kali Puja, Ramakrishna worshipped Shodashi, the third form of Divine Mother in Sarada. This is a very significant incident. A husband never did puja for his wife. However great, you can observe in many avatars also, never it has happened. First time it has happened in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. What he did on that day? Years before, he had begun his sadhana. Sri Ramakrishna started his sadhana many years before, but the culmination happened on that day. He had begun his sadhana by worshipping Adhya Shakti or Divine Mother Kali, or also called as primordial power, in the image of Bhavatarini Kali of Dakshineswar. Finally, on that new moon night, Amavasya, also it is called as, Sri Ramakrishna worshipped Adhya Shakti, the living form of Sarada. There was a worship going on in the temple, Dakshineswar Kali temple. Parallelly, there in the temple, Hriday was taking care of the puja. At the same time, Sri Ramakrishna had organized a puja, Shodashi Puja, on the day of Phalaharini Kali Puja, and that was a full moon day. The Adhya Shakti was worshipped in the living form of Sarada. He thus completed his sadhana by offering to her the results of all his spiritual practices. What happened when he offered the phala of all the sadhana? It also evoked or awakened the innate power which was in Holy Mother Sarada Devi. This important event awakened Sarada's divinity. It awakened the divinity of Holy Mother Sarada Devi, manifested her own spiritual relationship. Sri Ramakrishna established his spiritual relationship with Holy Mother Sarada Devi and made clear the role she would play in the future. I'll come to that after some time, what role she had to play. By performing this Shodashi Puja, Sri Ramakrishna signified that the Adhya Shakti had taken the form as Sarada Devi. When Sarada Devi was worshipped as Shodashi, she was 18 years old. In the prime of her youth. Scriptures do not require that girl who participates in this worship be exactly 16 years old, but she would be young and beautiful, who represents Shodashi. This is how that event on that day, about in the 8:45, 9 p.m., this all puja started. I would like to read two paras from Sri Sarada Devi and her divine play written by Swami Chetanandaji Maharaj. Here, Swami Saradanandaji Maharaj describes the occasion. We shall try to go back and relive on that occasion what happened. And few things after reading, I would like to draw your attention for our contemplation, for our consumption, and for our meditation, which should help in our spiritual progress. Swami Saradanandaji described the occasion. It was the new moon night, an auspicious occasion for the Phalaharini Kali Puja. The special festival is also observed in the Kali temple of Dakshineswar. The master made a special arrangement for privately worshipping the Divine Mother as Shodashi in his room rather than performing it in the temple. At the right side of the worshipper's seat, a low wooden seat, in Kannada we call mane, a low wooden seat, beautifully painted with rice powder pigment, was placed for the goddess to sit on during the worship. The sun had set and new moon night arrived in a veil of deep darkness. Hriday was performing the worship in the Kali temple that night, so he helped with the preparations for the master's worship as much as possible and then left for the temple. After the priest Dinu had finished the evening worship service in the Radha Govinda temple, he came to help the master prepare for the worship, and then he left. It was 9 o'clock in the evening when the preparations for the mystical worship were complete. The master had sent a message to Sarada beforehand to be present during the worship, and now she arrived in the master's room. The master sat for worship. Master means here Sri Ramakrishna. The master finished the preliminaries and sanctified the articles of worship by repeating the mantras. He then beckoned Sarada to sit on the decorated wooden seat. While she was watching the worship, Sarada had already entered a semi-conscious spiritual state. So, without fully knowing what she was doing, she moved like one who is spellbound and sat facing north on the right side of the master, who was seated facing east. According to the scriptural injunctions, he repeatedly sprinkled sanctified water on her from the pitcher installed in front of him. He then uttered mantras and invoked the deity with the following prayer. O Divine Mother, Tripura Sundari, O Eternal Virgin, possessor of all power, please open the gate of perfection. Purify her body and mind and manifest yourself through her for the welfare of all. We have to mark this. Manifest yourself through her, that is through Sarada, for the welfare of all. He then performed the ceremony of Nyasa, that is touching while doing the puja. You must have observed whoever does the puja or the priest, they keep touching different organs or the limbs of the body. That is called Nyasa. He then performed the ceremony of Nyasa in accordance with the injunction of the scriptures and worshipped her with 16 items as a veritable manifestation of the Devi. After offering food, he took some of it and put it in her mouth. Sarada lost outer consciousness and went into samadhi. While uttering mantras in a semi-conscious state, the master also went into deep samadhi. Thus, the worshipper and the worshipped became fully united and unified in the Atman, that is, existence, knowledge, bliss absolute. Some time passed in this way. It was long after midnight when the master gradually regained partial consciousness of the world. Both, as I read few minutes before, they were in semi-conscious state. Their minds were soaring so high, they lost all the body consciousness and they reached a no mind, or they were one with the Atman. Same was the state with the Pujaka and the Puja, one who was worshipping and one who was worshipped. Time passed in this way. It was long after midnight when the master gradually regained partial consciousness of the world. In that semi-conscious state, he offered himself to the Devi manifest in the person of Sarada. Please mark this. Devi manifested in the person Sarada, and then forever surrendered at her feet himself, and results of his sadhanas, his rosary and everything else. He then bowed down to her with this prayer: O consort of Shiva, the most auspicious of all auspicious beings, O doer of all actions, O refuge of all, O three-eyed goddess of golden complexion, O power of Narayana, I salute you again and again. The worship was completed. The master's sadhana culminated in this worship of the Divine Mother in the body of a woman who was an embodiment of spiritual wisdom. Both his divine and human aspects had achieved ultimate perfection. This is what Shardananji Maharaj describes. And another interesting reading I would like to make is, somebody asked Sharda Devi later, when all this was happening, how did you feel? As already mentioned, Sharda Devi was not in a fully conscious, she was not observing, she was already in a semi-conscious. Later on, she, because of the puja and invoking the Divine Mother, she had lost all worldly consciousness. She had become the Divine Mother or Adya Shakti herself. She just mentions, I will not read the full. The master sat near the western door facing eastward. All the doors were closed. The articles of worship were to my right. First he painted my feet with alta, a red dye, put vermilion on my forehead and clad me in a new cloth. He then fed me with sweets and a betel roll. These are all part of puja, Shodashopachara it is called. I saw him doing all this, but had no desire to utter a word. I was in an ecstatic state and completely oblivious to the external world. Hence, I did not know exactly how the worship proceeded. We have to mark this. Finally, I bowed down to him mentally and returned to the Nahabat. This ceremony, this Phalaharini Kali Puja, on which day this ceremony happened, it's very significant for both Sri Ramakrishna and Sarada Devi. When we are studying their lives, this is a very significant incident which happened in the life of Mother and Sri Ramakrishna. I would like to proceed. So far, this is about Shodashi, one form of Divine Mother. The second part of today's talk is Phalaharini Kali Puja. What is this? In this part of the country, the Shakta tradition is not well known. Here, this Phalaharini Kali Puja, it's a very, very important, and it means a lot if we can understand and practice, observe in our lives. As the name itself goes, Phalaharini. Phala means fruits. Harini, who takes away the results, who takes away. Phalaharini. The mother, she robs, she takes away. What she will take away? Phalaharini. All kinds of fruits. The concept of this puja on that day, how mother is worshipped, it is we pray to mother while performing Shodashopachara or any puja on that day. We pray to Divine Mother to take away all kinds of fruits. That means to say all kinds of karmas. We have both good and bad karmas. We come along with that baggage. To work out, we got a special privilege to born as a human being, so that we can listen to these things, we can work out our karmas. In that Kali, the previous centuries, many of the sadhakas have developed a kind of puja which is called Phalaharini Kali Puja, where a sadhaka goes to Kali, offers everything which he has, and asks her for the moksha or the liberation, or to become one with the Divine Mother. On this day, what sadhaka has to do? That's very important and very useful for us. Here, the concept is like this: all good and bad we offer at the feet of Divine Mother Kali. All happiness and sorrow, both will be offered at her feet. Both sukha and dukkha. If we observe this, we can understand we don't want anything. Usually we say, take away my bad karmas. Let me enjoy good karmas. But this karmas, it's not that easy as we understand. Sri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, says, Gahana karmano gatihi. The ways of this karma is very, very difficult, tricky, and difficult to understand. And it goes to such an extent, what we think, what happens, when the situation, particular situation we get into, we think something, but we do something else. That's why these karmas are very dangerous. On this day, the puja, the method of this puja says, offer all, good and bad, whatever you have. Give it, everything, offer it at the feet of Divine Mother. And what happens by that? What is the goal? The goal is very interesting. Our only goal is to make us free from all karmas. We want freedom. We want liberation. Nor we want sukha, nor we want dukkha. On this Phalaharini Kali Puja, this is the significance of this Phalaharini Kali Puja. And if we can really dwell upon this idea, it's not that easy, because the karmas are sitting in a very subtle form, in the seed form also. So, when we do, when we perform, when we understand the concepts like this, then really we can dwell upon that idea, try to take out all the karmas, offer at the feet of Divine Mother, and be liberated, moksha. Here, the freedom what we get is also named as liberation. Sri Ramakrishna worshipped Holy Mother on this Phalaharini Kali Puja. So, Sri Ramakrishna here, what he did, he also did the same thing. What karma Sri Ramakrishna had? But here we should get into the human form of Sri Ramakrishna. He is a world teacher. He is showing us how to perform puja, what to do, how to pray, what to pray. These are the important things which he did in his own life, and which is a lesson for us. That's what we have to observe from the life of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna offered all the results of the fruits of his sadhana on that day to Holy Mother, and fully transmitted all the power so that she could conduct the minister after his passing away. See, all this happened in a particular temple, Dakshineswar Kali Temple. There are thousands of temples. There are thousands of Kali temple in our Bharata. But a very, very important for us is Dakshineswar Kali Temple. Why? Because Sri Ramakrishna awakened that deity. You know the life story of Sri Ramakrishna, how his brother was called, how he entered the temple, and how Sri Ramakrishna had to take over as a priest, and what happened, and how he struggled for realization, He was about to end his life with a great struggle when he was not happy. He could not see the mother. He wanted to end his life. Then Divine Mother, with her grace, with her mercy, she presented herself in the form of a light. And there Sri Ramakrishna had the darshan of Divine Mother Kali. So this incident which happened in that very temple, he had the Sakshatkara of Divine Mother Kali in the Dakshineswar Temple. This Shodashopachara, which happened on the Phalaharini Kali Puja, very close to the temple. There's one more realization what Sri Ramakrishna invoked through Sarada Devi and presented before the world, which has happened in the same precincts. That's why there are many temples, Kali temples across the country, but Dakshineswara Kali and Sri Ramakrishna's room and this Phalaharini Kali Puja, which happened on that particular day, is very, very significant for all of us. In Chandi, we see a mother destroys various kinds of demons. As I told you, Sri Ramakrishna purified Sarada Devi and invoked Divine Mother in her. He invited Divine Mother into Sarada Devi. Some highlights I would like to tell how it happens. This is how some of the sadhakas have explained. Shardananji Maharaj has explained. And also it is mentioned in the Chandi. The mother destroys various kinds of demons in the Chandi, but it has a significance in our life also. Mahishasura, this buffalo demon, he is the symbol of anger. Mother kills Shumbha, Rakshasa, Shumbha. He is the symbol of lust. Nishumbha was killed. He is the symbol of greed. This is how Sri Ramakrishna killed those ulterior things which may be in the body of Sri Holy Mother Sarada Devi, and purified her and brought or invited Divine Mother into her body. So this is how the puja affects on one's own, in one's own body, as well as when we worship, when we do this worship, this is how we are benefited. At the individual level, these kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsaras, these will be removed. Thereby we get purified. As I was thinking about this kind of pujas in various texts, spiritual texts, we come across a sentence in Shvetashvatara Upanishad. There is a mantra, Tvam Stri, Tvam Puman Asi, Tvam Kumara, Athava Kumari. What Sri Ramakrishna invoked in Sarada Devi, Divine Mother Kali, also called as Brahman. In the Sri Ramakrishna's language, Brahman, Kali, Ma, Durga, Saraswati, Sarada are no different. In the beginning of my talk, I told you how Sri Ramakrishna saw the Divine Mother in temple with his mother and the mother who is sitting and serving himself. This Tvam Stri Tvam Puman, which is mentioned in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, it says the Brahman, the same Brahman is woman and man and young boy, young girl. This Brahman is manifested in every being. This is how we have to understand the Advaita philosophy, which through the Shakta practices it has been propagated, practiced. A simple way what Sri Ramakrishna preached, practiced, he called Brahman as Brahmamayi. He added mother to it. Brahman is the word which is very popularly used in our Upanishads, but he called the same Brahman as mother. So he used to call Brahmamayi. So the same Brahmamayi is manifested in different human beings, maybe in the form of men, in the form of women, etc. This is what Shvetashvatra Upanishad says. This kind of pujas, how it benefits, this is what I was trying to contemplate on. There are 4 kinds of puja which is mentioned in our Vedantic tradition. There is one shloka related to it. Uttamo Brahma Sadbhavo Dhyana Bhavastu Madhyama. Uttamo Brahma Sadbhavo Dhyana Bhavastu Madhyama. Stuti Japo Adhamo Bhava Bahya Puja Adhama Adhama. The meaning goes like this. The highest worship, that is, I am Brahman. That kind of worship, not many can do it. But that is the best worship. But if one cannot do that, one step lower, that is, Dhyana Bhavastu Madhyama. Meditate on God. Meditating on God. Even if you cannot meditate, then come one step further down. That is Stuti Japo Adamo Bhava. Practicing or doing japa, parayana, these are still the easier way or one step lower than the dhyana. And if you cannot do this also, though it is said Bahya Puja Adama Adama, but most of us, we clinch to this. The 4th stage says external worship is the simplest, but the least one can do. Anyone can do this. This kind of worship we can see in many people. How this worship can elevate us to that highest level. Even if it is a puja, see, all the worship, it is all related to our indriyas. See, the external worship, what we do through senses, through eyes, we see the beauty of the deity. Through the nose, we get the fragrance. When we burn incense sticks, the fragrance from the flowers, it is offered to the deity or to the Divine Mother. Through the ears, we listen to the beautiful prayers, music, chanting, etc. Through the hands, here we should observe all our indriyas are engaged in performing puja so that they don't take us somewhere else. They don't take us away from the puja. They don't take our mind away from the deity. That is the beauty of the puja, so that all our organs are engaged in doing a particular act while doing the worship. So that's how the puja, though it is said Adama, Adama, but most of us are okay with it, and that is the way for us. That's what Sri Ramakrishna also showed during this puja. Though Shodashopachara, it's all done according to the Shakta tradition, but there is a lesson for us, how he purified. So those that puja, as Shardananji explained, when Holy Mother came, what happened, in a very cryptic language or in a very short form, Shardananji has explained. But what might have happened in that process, these are all the things which is mentioned in the Shastras, which helps us to understand what happened when this Shodashopachara Puja happened on the Phalaharini Kali Puja day. So through the senses, we try to focus or push our energies towards the deity. So when through hands, we make garlands, cook food for the deity or for the Lord. Thereby, our hands are also engaged in the service of the Lord. Then through the feet, we go to the temples, we go to the pilgrimage, so that this sense organ also is engaged through the worship towards the deity. This is how these pujas help us in purifying and focusing or pushing our thoughts towards one particular action, and thereby elevates our mind to the higher plane. So, some of the things you may be aware of it, but some subtle things which I try to recollect and share with you, I think it is useful, and we should be able to understand what happened on that Shodashopachara, during that Shodashopachara Puja. Some more, there is no direct explanation what happened, neither by Sri Ramakrishna nor by Holy Mother Sharda Devi. Already I read what was written, what was spoken by Holy Mother Sharda Devi herself, but what is the result, I have already told, and what might have happened, that also I have shared with you. Now, what we see after the Shodashopachara, the later part of the Holy Mother's life, how she grew, what Sri Ramakrishna wanted from Holy Mother Sharda Devi, I feel I'll just make certain observations, so that this kind of a puja, this kind of awakening, what happened through Sri Ramakrishna, and how Sharda Devi became a Jagat Janani and helping all of us. I try to draw a few points from or highlights of Holy Mother's life, I can say. Just see, Sri Ramakrishna was a world teacher, but Sharda Devi was his first disciple. Very interesting to note. Sharda Devi carried out her husband's ministry for 34 years after Sri Ramakrishna's passing away. Ramakrishna left his body in 1886, but Holy Mother Sharda Devi lived almost 67 years. After the demise of Sri Ramakrishna, she carried on the spiritual legacy of Sri Ramakrishna, what envisioned by Sri Ramakrishna, and for not just the what Sri Ramakrishna told, and it grew and grew and grew. What today you see the Ramakrishna Mission or Ramakrishna Mahasangha, that is because of Holy Mother Sharda Devi. She inspired the monks and devotees of Ramakrishna order. All these 34 years, it's a great strength of our Sangha. It's a very unique, you can't see this kind of association of a woman with a monastic organization. I feel this is a very unique in Ramakrishna Sangha. Sharda Devi, her life is a glowing example of Vedanta in practice. Though Holy Mother never went to school, she went to school but she didn't learn much. To such an extent, she could not write her own name. She could write at the fag end of her life, she could write Ma. But at one point of time, that also she couldn't write because she forgot. But Sri Ramakrishna used to call Sharda Devi as my Saraswati. In what sense? How it could happen? I feel this Shodashi Puja, Shodashopachara, or the worship of the divine which Sri Ramakrishna invoked, which happened on this Phalaharini Kali Puja day, must have brought Holy Mother must have brought Saraswati in Holy Mother. This is how we can understand. Of course, by the statement of Sri Ramakrishna also, none of the statements of Sri Ramakrishna are false. Not a single word he lied in his life. Whatever he spoke is all truth and truth and truth alone. In spite of it, for our understanding, when we see the Holy Mother's life, we don't find any academic excellence, or she wrote, or she spoke, nothing like that. Very simple. Her life was the most ordinary life it looks. We can say the most ordinary life amongst the ordinary people. We can say so. Because when we read her life, we understand she was surrounded with problems. Always she had problems right next to her, and she had solution for it. That's why she lived in a Vedantic state of mind. This statement, this is how we have to understand. Her life is a glowing example of Vedanta in practice. Sarada Devi demonstrated how to commune with God, how to converse with God, how to live with God. This is the greatest help Holy Mother gave us by her exemplary life. But how? Not in contemplation alone. Contemplation, it can happen. But Sarada Devi's life, she lived in the midst of the world. She lived in the midst of the family members. She lived with the monastics. She lived with the villagers. She lived in the city. But at the same time, always she was in communion with God. So she showed us how to live in the world, at the same time to keep mind in communion with God. Sarada Devi showed how to lead our life that is both active and contemplative. Holy Mother, she showed, she was very hardworking, if at all we have to say. Forget about the divine aspect of the Holy Mother. If you read, if you observe her routine, morning 3 o'clock she used to get up. She'll get up and finishing ablutions, etc. Then she'll sit for meditation. And night at 9:30, 10 o'clock, she'll go to rest. Throughout the day, except for half an hour or 45 minutes of rest in the afternoon, throughout the day, she will be active. Either doing meditation, then after that cooking, then afterwards serving, afterwards preparing the garland or something related on the preparation for the food of Sri Ramakrishna, then afterwards it will rest, again preparing for the evening puja, preparing for the night food and guests, what not, full of activities. But at the same time, she never left her japa. And one of the significant statement Holy Mother makes, she used to do 1 lakh japa a day. How? If we understand these different points, if we can coordinate with these things, then we understand, yes, she could do 1 lakh japa. At one point of time, whether it is possible or not, we tried with our immature mind. We could do up to 50,000, not while doing other activities, sitting and doing japa alone. We tried about few years back. We could go up to 50,000. Ours is a very ordinary mind. By the grace of Holy Mother and Thakur, we have grown a little, or we have been pulled up spiritually by their grace. If our mind can do like this, how much more Divine Mother in the form of Sarada Devi can do. So her life was both active and contemplative. There is a great lesson for us. And one more point is how to adjust one's action, how to observe one's actions through forbearance and forgiveness. This is another very important aspect of Holy Mother's life. Mother's one Bengali sentence is there, or a Bengali proverb, I don't know exactly. Shoy, shoy, shoy. Forbear, forbear, forbear. Je shoy, one who forbears, he lives. Je na shoy, she na shoy. One who cannot forbear, he will destroy himself. This is the Bengali proverb or usage. This we can see in Holy Mother's life, so many problems, so many different kinds of levels of problem, but Mother forbear all those silently. And she had solution for it. And apart from that, when somebody makes a mistake, somebody try to create problem, after knowing that when he comes and asks, but Mother used to forgive him or forgive her. At the same time, never she cursed. Though she knew that problem is coming from whom, why he did it, etc. But still, she never cursed anyone. From Mother's life, we can know how to cultivate peace and joy in one's daily life through love, compassion, humility, selfless, service, detachment, and devotion. I'm just taking different aspects so that it helps us in thinking and adapting in our life. The last message, ultimate message of Holy Mother Sarada Devi, I would like to repeat. I'm sure many of you are aware of it, but still, how far we have practiced, how far we could grow and move towards the ultimate. That's what I would like to request all of you to contemplate. Her last message was, my child, if you want peace of mind, do not find fault with others. See your own faults. Learn to make the world your own. Learn to make the world your own. Very difficult. Very, very difficult. Mother has told. Mother has given the key. But the practice is left with us. How to do it? How to make the world our own? The next statement, for still more important, no one is a stranger, my child. The whole world is your own. So how to deal with the world? How to live in the world? How to fix our mind with the God and at the same time live untarnished in this world? Here is a great example of Mother. My time is up. I would like to make two more statements made by Holy Mother's disciple who lived with her, who served her, Swami Ishwaranandaji Maharaj. This reference is there in Holy Mother's life also. Swami Chetananandji Maharaj, the author of Sri Sarada Devi, her divine play, he met Ishwaranandaji Maharaj in 1969. He asked this question, Swamiji, you were an attendant of Holy Mother for 11 years. Could you tell me what was the most striking characteristic that you witnessed in Holy Mother? Though he lived with Divine Mother, Holy Mother, but still he says, I could not understand Mother. This was the remark made by Swami Ishwaranandaji Maharaj. For him this question was put. Then the question goes, what is the difference between Holy Mother and our mothers, sisters, aunt and other women in our families? Very interesting question. The Swami Ishwaranandaji Maharaj kept for some time quiet. Then he comes out with a statement, have you seen any man or woman who is devoid of desire? Devoid of desire? Holy Mother was completely free from desire. Holy Mother was completely free from desire. Every human being has desires, which originates from ignorance. That means to say, Mother was full of knowledge. Desire comes because of ignorance. So the only God is desireless. That means to say, Holy Mother was God. Holy Mother was divine herself. Another Swamiji, the similar question, one more question was asked by a devotee about Holy Mother in 1977, for which the question was asked, what impressed you most with Holy Mother? This was the question. I am just cutting short the conversation because my time is up. That Swamiji says, he also served Holy Mother. That Swamiji says, humility. Very outstanding thing what I saw in Mother was humility. And further he says, that Swamiji says, Mother was completely egoless. She had no ego at all. This was our Holy Mother. I hope these few statements and contemplation on Phalaharini Kali Puja and Shodashi, who Shodashi is, and these ideas will make our thoughts straight and makes our life rich, helps our sadhana to do better, and takes us closer to Holy Mother. That is the purpose for which Holy Mother was born, and she has drawn us. So with this few thoughts, I would like to conclude. And as there is a famous prayer, I will not utter the prayer, but the meaning of that prayer goes like this: you are beyond speech. This is about referring to a Brahman or God. God is beyond speech, but still, for the sake of my prayer, I utter in words. You are all pervading, all pervasive. You are Ananta. You are everywhere. But for the sake of pilgrimage, for the sake of travel, I have created pilgrimages and I go there. You are formless, but for the sake of meditation, I imagined your form as Mother. O Mother, bless us. Please bless us. The same thought is applicable to Holy Mother also. I pray to Mother to bless us all while contemplating on Phalaharini Kali Puja and Shodashi. Om Priyatam Pundarikakshah Sarvayajneshwaro Harihi Tasmin Stushte Jagat Tushtam Prinite Prinitam Jagat Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.